What is happening, people? Today we're talking about all the different kinds and types of cryptocurrencies. Now, these categories are sort of made up, but this is like a general guide for beginners sort of thing. So this is what I've sort of listed them under, just so you can get an understanding of what these types of coins and tokens do. So we'll start off with a list. So we've got payment/currency coins, we've got decentralized apps/platform tokens, we've got privacy coins, we've got finance and banking coins, we've got compatibility coins, we've got exchange coins, there's social coins for like messaging, there's media coins, gaming coins, there's also business and industry coins, you've got computing coins and storage coins and general coins and just niche coins. So we're going to dive into all of them. I'm going to summarize them as best as I can, as beginner friendly as I can. So we'll start with the original one. So the first cryptocurrency was Bitcoin, and the idea behind Bitcoin was no fees, instant transactions, and it's peer-to-peer, so there's no middleman in between like a bank or anything handling your money. But due to scaling issues, that's not like, it's not going according to plan. So all these other altcoins were born because they can tackle different areas, they just do different things. Some try and tackle the same thing Bitcoin are trying to handle, some try and just take over different industries, and that's what we're going to dive into now. So we'll start off with payment and currency coins, because that's what Bitcoin falls under, and it leads us into that first category. Do you know what I mean? So the first one you've got is your Bitcoin. That's the one that's just, it's the OG, it's what was here from the beginning. You've got Litecoin, you've got Bitcoin Cash, you've got Nano, you've got Dogecoin, you've got Dash and Decred, things like that. That's not all of them, there's loads of them. CoinMarketCap is a good place to check out like all the different coins, but those are like all come under the payment/currency coins, and some have different uses. Some are like memes, like the Dogecoin, but they're still useful, they still work, sort of thing, so you can't like completely write them off. Do you know what I mean? So what these types of cryptocurrencies are for is they're just they're used for payments and moving money around. So the money that you use now, your native currency, so like your US dollars, your Great British pounds, your euros, it's like an online version of that. So that's what these digital currencies try and achieve. It's just a way to do online payments instantly with as little fee as possible. The end goal for these sort of things is, like I said, with the Bitcoin, we want no fees, instant transactions. The safety needs to be on point. Like at the minute, people can accidentally lose the funds by like sending them to the wrong addresses and things like that. So ideally we want it super beginner friendly, so if your 90-year-old grandma tries and sends money somewhere and she types the wrong address and she doesn't lose all of her money, do you know what I mean? So you need these like safety systems in, like that's what needs to get developed for this space to like to get adoption, for everyone to like adopt and start using these currencies. The security needs to be on point. It's already pretty good at the minute, but there are a lot of hacks that happen mostly on the exchanges, so that's why you keep your money off the exchanges. There's other videos on my channel explaining how to keep your cryptocurrency safe, so go check them out. While we're on the topic of that, check to it's that side in it. You've got all my socials and everything here, so give them a check out. It's a new setup. I've got a webcam, got a like proper setup. I'm not walking around with my phone anymore. I've got a proper mic and everything, so we're trying to like step it up a bit. So the user friendliness, so the UI needs to be good. At the minute, exchanges and that UI can be a bit hard to get your head around, especially if you're not like tech savvy, like younger gen and like the newer gen that have like dived as deep as they can into technology. Like it's a bit hard to use. Like Coinbase is really good. They've got a nice, it's as easy as ordering slippers off Amazon sort of thing, so that's the step in the right direction. That's what we want. You want the end goal as well is privacy as well, so you want your coins to be, you don't want people tracking your transactions and things like that. You want to keep it to yourself. At the minute, Bitcoin uses a lot of electricity and energy, so that's like harmful for the environment. So for these currency coins, we want to like aim for as low environmental impact as possible. Do you know what I mean? And we want them to be a reliable store of value. So we don't want the prices to be too volatile, because nobody can trust something if it's too volatile. Like, you can't really adopt a currency if 1 minute it's worth £1 and then the other minute it's worth 20p. Like, it's just, you can't really convert if it's that volatile. So we want a bit of a reliable store of value. So that's payments and currency coins. So it's just an online digital currency. That's all it is. There's nothing too complicated about that. Next, we'll talk about the decentralized apps and the platform tokens. Now, these get a bit confusing. So let's I'll give you some examples. These are like your Ethereum, Cardano, Neo, EOS, Ethereum Classic, Qtum, NEM. Like, I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but that's what they're under. You can find them in CoinMarketCap, the top 100 coins. Like, just check them out on there. It's not a full list again. There's 1,000,001 others, but those are like, just to get your head around what I'm actually on about. These are the type of token slash network slash apps I'm talking about. So what these are is the platforms for decentralized apps. And what decentralized apps let you... I need to mention smart contracts as well. So smart contracts and decentralized apps are two buzzwords that you're going to hear all the time, mate. So smart contracts allow you... their app... How do I word this? So if you've got a smart contract, whatever it says, whatever's programmed into this contract, it can't be interfered with, it can't be censored. Like, when certain criteria is met, it's going to perform an action. So you can't have like... It's just safe and secure for contracts, so nobody can bail out. It executes like a payment when a term is met, sort of thing, and there's no getting around it. Like, there's no scams that can come out of it. That's why smart contracts are so, like, such an incredibly cool idea. Like, the benefits for it are just insane, man. And these smart contracts work with decentralized apps, which, how do I word this? I think the best way to word this is going into an example. So all of these cryptocurrency platforms use tokens. Well, not all of them. Some of them use tokens. So you'll hear coins and you'll hear tokens. Like, they are sort of the same thing, but there's a lot of buzzwords that you've just got to get your head around in cryptocurrency. So you've got like coins, tokens, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is referring to all of them. Coins is referring to like usually forks from the Bitcoin blockchain. So it's like coins, like currency coins, really. And then you have tokens, which work on different platforms. So let's dive into them. An example will help you get your head around this, because that explanation wasn't too good then. So if we take Ethereum as an example, Ethereum is the network, it's the platform. Ether is the currency, so that's like your money. And then the decentralized apps, so it can be anything, like any cool app runs on the Ethereum network, and they use smart contracts to like keep everything safe and secure and make sure everything works. So you'd be thinking like, so why do decentralized apps need their own specific token? Why don't they just use Ether, like the currency of Ethereum? So tokens in real life, like if you think about in real life, tokens are used in real life. Like if you think of, what's an example here? Think of a holiday resort. If you like, if you go to an all-inclusive holiday resort, they'll give you like a wristband, and then they'll give you like a wristband, and you can just flash a wristband and you'll get served everywhere. So rather than getting real money out and like paying for your food and paying for your drinks, and even services like getting laundry done, getting your bed made, spa treatment, entertainment, getting into places, all that stuff. If you're in like an all-inclusive holiday resort, you flash a wristband, you get in, you get served food, you get all that. It's super convenient. So that's like the idea behind tokens. So let me just drop a descriptive line for you. So tokens are a representation of any type of asset / utility on a different blockchain, and they can be traded or exchanged for goods and services. So that's like your description for it. So in the holiday resort example, The holiday resort is the decentralized app. It's like the service, it's like the place, it's a goods, it's like all whatever you want it to be. Ether is the money that you use to buy the wristband. So Ether is your money, and then the wristband is the token. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that breaks it down. Check my website out and give it a read if you're still a bit confused on it. So that's decentralized apps and platform tokens and all those networks explained a little bit. Next up, we got privacy coins. So at the minute with Bitcoin, I'll list some examples. So you got Monero, you got Zcash, you got Bytecoin, Verge, Bitcoin Private, Zcoin, Enigma, a load of others. Those are just some examples. Go check CoinMarketCap. Like CoinMarketCap's just sick. It lists everything for you. So what these, some of them are trying to be private currency coins like the Bitcoin and stuff that I mentioned before, but some of them are also trying to be private platforms for smart contracts like the Ethereum and stuff that I just mentioned before. So some want to be private coins, some want to be private platforms. Like you'll have to dive a bit deeper into which specific one does what. So at the moment, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies aren't private. Like if I make a transaction, it's on a public ledger on the blockchain that anybody can go and check out. So you can check out what any transaction people have made. So it's just not private. And there's that kind of like, it runs into a problem because privacy is just ideal, and it like you want to keep your transactions private. You don't want every geezer out there being able to look at what you've bought. Like think of like situations like, oh, your family don't know how rich you are and you don't get on with your family and your friends, and they can see how much money you've got and what you're spending. It's just not ideal. Like you just want your privacy, things like that. What privacy coins aim to do is they want your transactions to remain untraceable back to you. Like they're still going to be on the blockchain, that's perfectly fine. Like if you don't keep track of it, how are you going to like? You just got to keep track of it. That's how this whole thing works. But you don't want your name tied to it, so that's the problem. So privacy coins basically make it untraceable back to you. So that's the idea with it, and they do that through different forms of cryptography that other cryptocurrencies don't like focus on. Do you know what I mean? Privacy coins also solve the problem of fungibility. So it's a bit of a buzzword. So what fungibility is, it's when an asset is fungible, you can switch and exchange it with another asset. That's a bad example. So when an asset is fungible, you're able to switch it and exchange it for the same asset, for the same type of asset, but it doesn't lose value. Like it's a bit hard to get your head around, so I'll use an example. Take for example a $10 bill. If I lend you $10, and then you can either pay me back with a $10 bill, you can pay me back with two $5, you can lend me back with 10 $1 bills. So the dollar in this example is fungible because you can trade, you can exchange it for different sort of types, if that makes sense. But if I were to lend you my phone, and then for a weekend or something, say like you needed my phone for a weekend, I lend it you, and then at the end of the weekend you come back and you give me a different phone, like I'm not going to be happy. My contacts are gone. My contract is like gone all crazy. I've just got a load of problems to deal with. I had sentimental value. So the phone in this example isn't fungible. Even if you give me the same model in the same condition, like it's not my phone, so it's not fungible. So that's what fungibility means. And how does this relate to cryptocurrency? So let's wind it back into Bitcoin. So let's say, for example, you've just bought some brand new Bitcoin. Well, not brand, you've just bought some Bitcoin from an exchange or from a person, or you've just bought some Bitcoin. And you've only just got it today. 3 years ago, some geezer bought a load of drugs, paid for a load of illegal services, like murdering people, hitmen, like buying weapons, like just buying illegal services or drugs or anything illegal. And he used these Bitcoins. Now, these Bitcoins, he's traded them back in, they've gone back into circulation. But you've ended up with these Bitcoins. So some services in the future and like exchanges could be like, well, your Bitcoins are tainted, mate. Like if they check the history, like which relates back to the privacy thing, like if they check the history and they can see that these coins have been used for illegal activity, like, well, these coins are like tainted in their eyes and they could be like worth less than clean Bitcoins that have only been used for like legit and legal purchases. Do you know what I mean? So if a coin is private and you can't trace anything back to people, like, it gets rid of this tainted coins and clean coins like dilemma. So all the coins will have the same value because it's impossible to tie it to someone. Does that make sense? So if all transactions are untraceable and private, there's like no such thing as clean and tainted coins. They're all in the same boat, so they're all fungible. You don't run into that fungibility problem. So that's why privacy coins are supported, and obviously all the other privacy aspects of just, you want to keep your stuff to yourself. Like, you don't want every geezer knowing what you're about. Next up, we got finance and banking coins, or like FinTech. Like, that's a buzzword that you'll see. You've got coins like Ripple, Stellar, Amizago, I don't know how you pronounce that, Tether, Populous, Salt, Request Network, a bunch of others, CoinMarketCap, you know where to go. These fall under, so you'll find with a lot of these, they fall under the same category, but just to give you some examples. So what finance? I'll start with banking coins. So global payments at the minute are slow, they're expensive, and they're quite unreliable. They fail quite a lot. And like, if I send money to someone, it takes a few days to go through, and like, there's a fee for that as well. It's just not ideal. Do you know what I mean? So what banking coins are aiming to do is they're aiming to connect banks, exchanges, corporations, businesses, enterprises, all that, and payment providers together, which will allow, they're trying to allow instant transactions for a lower cost, basically. So less fees and instant transactions. You want to be able to move funds from one bank to another bank in the click of a button, and it registers in your account. Like, we want to get rid of that slow, painful process of waiting to get paid. So these types of coins are looking for the big money. They're trying to handle large amounts of money and like work with the big businesses and stuff like that. Finance coins don't really fall under banking coins. So like, what finance coins do is they're working with banks, payment providers, and people. So what they're trying to do is provide financial services like lending to all levels of income. So at the minute, like, it's only certain people that meet certain criteria can like apply for financial services, and the aim for these is to get everyone involved. So even the people that are less fortunate and like poverty-stricken people especially, they can set up financial services for them that can help them out, get them into a better situation. Do you know what I mean? And at the minute, the financial services on offer to people that are on low income, they're very predatory. They take advantage of them, and there's no escape. Like, you can't get out of that situation when you're down low, but the people with a lot of money get a lot of discounts. It's just such a backwards system. So these finance coins are trying to like help out the little guy, but they're also trying to work with the big money as well. So don't ignore that. What else? So, some of these, so a lot of the coins I listed just then, like, they all got different things, so you'll have to dive in deeper to them. They're not like exactly what I'm talking about. Some of the coins focus on connecting business owners and like working with invoices, like invoice buying, invoice selling, with businesses. Some of them work solely as an exchange rate, and to keep value. So if you look at Tether, what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep a $1 to a $1 exchange rate, so it's like something reliable in the cryptocurrency space. So you have things like that. Some coins focus on investing, just like all that. So these types of coins, they cast a wide net, so you'll have to dive deeper into them, but that's sort of what they're about. Next, we've got compatibility coins and exchange coins. They're not really related, but I just wanted to link them together because they are, I don't know, I just wanted to link these two together. So you've got things like Binance Coin, Qcoin shares for your exchange coins. There's other ones. You got H-Share, you got Icon, you got ARC, you got OX, 0x, however you pronounce it. You got Kyber, Bancor. So most exchanges nowadays are coming out with their own coin, and they have like their own benefits and they offer certain things. So mostly what they do is they offer liquidity and speed. So that's what the exchange coins do. But some exchange coins also have like little programs set up. So where, say, like you invest early, all the trading fees that are made, or like 20% of trading fees are like are spread out every day to people that have invested in the coin. So there are incentives to like invest in these coins. You can make passive income daily if you like put some money in, and the trading fees go up and things like that. And you can also get discounts on fees. So say like trading fees, you could get like half price on trading fees. So they're just useful. They're just convenient, and they are quite handy. So have a look at them. Next, the compatibility coins like ARK and things like that. What these are trying to do is they're trying to allow blockchains to like interact with each other. So at the minute, different blockchains can't interact with each other. So this is a problem for transferring value of coins and transferring data about. So they're trying to connect it so you can move data and you can move value across blockchains. So like, it's just useful for all kinds of industries, man. And with the end goal being like a connected ecosystem of blockchains that can all make these applications using smart contracts with each other. And if you can connect everyone, like the adoption from that will just be crazy. So that's the niche compatibility coins are trying to fill. There are other uses, so go dive deeper into the list and check CoinMarketCap again. Next, we got social coins. Social coins, media coins, and gaming coins. I'll list all these under the same one. So you've got you've got Steam, you've got Basic Attention, you've got Loom Network, you've got Status, you've got Redcoin, you've got Funfair, you've got Wax, Engine Coins, a load of others. Go check them out. What these coins, a brief over a summary of these coins is they're trying to put more of the power into content creators' hands rather than middle parties. So like some social coins are focusing on messaging and payments, so they're going to like go down the privacy route a bit more. Like they want to be like a private messaging app that you can pay each other on. Other social coins and media coins are trying to replace web browsers. So like your Google Chrome can be replaced with a different browser. And what these browsers aim to do is provide more privacy, and some of them even allow you to like tip your favorite content creators. So the content creators get more of the reward rather than like the middle pie. So like Google and YouTube and Twitch, and the content creator gets paid more and supported more. So that's what these services are trying to achieve. So let's like dive into advertising as well. So with these advertising on these browsers, these new browsers that are going to come about, like at the minute, users like you and me are taken advantage of through digital advertising every day. Like up to 50% of your data on your phone is wasted on ads and trackers. Like they're just leeching a load of your data from you just so they can run their ads. Like websites and videos take longer to load. Your phone battery life just dies quicker because it's loading all this crap. Your privacy is violated. Like you've got some Facebook tracker and all that stuff just watching every website you've been on just because you visited the website like a couple of days ago. Like they're just tracking everything you're doing. It's just... And they're selling that data as well. So they track you and then they sell it off to people. Malware gets advertised as well. So you'll have ads, and fraud gets advertised, scams get advertised, and it's just a pain in the ass to deal with. So all this is happening every day to you. Your safety, your privacy, your time, and money is just wasted every day by ads. For advertisers as well, advertisers lose out. So like targeting, I mean, I've done a bit of advertising, and targeting is just not specific. Users ignore most of your ads. It's hard to like get the people that you want. So a lot of money gets wasted, like just showing to people that don't care about anything that you're on about. Advertisers get little information. Like they don't get any information. Like you get very little information of who you're advertising to. It's just not ideal. Like you want to be able to like niche down a bit so you can make sure you're advertising to the right people off, so you don't piss off the people that don't care about what you're on about, and it's just better like that. Ad block is the standard as well. So like I've got ad block running on my computer. Most of you probably have it running on your computer. I'm not sure if there's one on your phone. I don't use my phone enough to bother. So what ad blocker's done, it's like the standard, so your ads naturally get blocked. But if ads were better and more friendly and more engaging and just better than the garbage that they are now, like users wouldn't want to use, like users wouldn't use ad block because they'd be less invasive, they'd be more engaging. Like you can actually have fun with ads. You can make like ads interactive, like you can have fun with them. You don't have to be just some spam. Like there are clever ways to advertise that people don't mind. Like if you've got put humor in there, you put comedy in there, like there are good ways, so don't like completely power off advertising. Like most of it, like advertising is needed whether you like agree with it or not. Otherwise loads of companies, loads of websites, loads of everything just wouldn't work. Like that's how they work. Bots and fraud run rampant as well, so it's like my competitor could see my ad running and just like get a bot to like click on it a million times, and that's just like eating up my whole budget. So users lose out, advertisers lose out, and ad companies just blow up. They get all of our data, they get a shitload of money off us, like Facebook and Google. So yeah, they provide us with good services. I'm not completely slagging them off. They do provide us with good services, but the middle party gets a lot more than the users and the advertisers get out of it. So what these platforms are trying to do is put more power in the user's hands and put more power in the advertiser's hands, less in the middleman's hands. It's more of a balancing game. It's not possible to eliminate all those problems I just listed, but we can definitely like narrow them down and like make them better for people. It's just like making ads more acceptable and more engaging and just better. Let's talk about gaming coins. So gaming coins, a lot of these fall into different categories. So you've got some gaming coins that focus on assets and virtual marketplaces. So they're trying to like set up skin markets like your CS:GO and your TF2 and all the games like that. You've got some that focus on collectibles. Some even focus on services, so they are pretty cool, so dive into them. Other games focus on hosting games and actually creating games. So you can like build games on certain platforms, which are pretty cool, and they are protected. The smart contracts work, so the games can be fair. That's like, it's impossible to rig it. Like people can see what the game is, and you can't rig it. So this, if you can't rig it, this is going to be super big for casino type games and gambling and all that stuff. So it's guaranteed fairness. Like you can't get mugged off by companies that are trying to screw you. So casino style games are going to blow up, but other games are going to pop out of it. You never know. Like there's going to be an insane amount of tech coming out of this. So that's about it. Oh, as well, your funds as well. So your funds won't be able to, so say like you put like tokens onto a website, they can just like, freeze your funds and like lock you out even if you put a lot of money in there. If they don't like that you've won a lot of money, they can just freeze it and contest it and just waste all your time and energy, man. So with smart contracts and with blockchain tech, like your money gets put straight into your account. You can cash it out whenever you want as well. Like they can't say, oh no, you can't cash it out. Like you can always cash it out. So that's why it's going to be big, man. Business coins and industry coins, these sort of fall under a lot of the categories, but these get like a special mention because they are trying to tackle some industries and businesses like specifically. So you got things like VeChain, Walton Chain, Ardor, Syscoin, Centrality, Neblio, bunch of others. These are similar to decentralized app platforms like the ones we mentioned with Ethereum and that. But they fall under there because they're aiming to work with specific companies and enterprises. Some are targeting industries while some are targeting specific industries while others are targeting like a few industries. So blockchain technology, decentralized apps, and smart contracts, like you'll always hear these buzzwords over and over again, man. These have the potential to revolutionize certain industries like supply chains, retail, automobile stuff, transport stuff, food and drinks, storage, cold storage, pharmaceuticals, luxury goods like liquor, collectibles, jewelry, logistics and authentication, all that good stuff. Like the list can just go on forever, mate. So what these do is they provide security, they're trying to provide security, regulation, authenticity, transparency, and what it allows you to do is it allows you to track, like, say like we use like supply chains as an example. You've got your organic blueberries. It allows you to check every step of the way where these blueberries have been, and it validates it, and like nobody can edit it. It's just like it's legit. So you know what you see is true, which is just so important. So you can actually see that your organic blueberries are organic. You can see that they've been safely stored on the whole way there. You can see that the transport they've used are like economically friendly. Like, there's so many uses for it. Like the automobiles, I'm not even going to go into it because there's just so many, but you sort of get the idea. Like, if you've got an expensive ruby, you can verify that it's been safely transported the whole way. Like, there's no gaps where someone could have switched it out for a fake. Like, so many things like that, man. So coins like these as well, they let you be in control of your data and let you see more data. So imagine if your car had like a digital passport on it. You could and it's not, you can't tamper with it. Like at the minute you can forge stuff, can't you? But with a digital passport, you can have like repair history, insurance issues, previous owners, driver behavior, like the registration. You can check all that and validate it, and it's going to be like listed, and you just know it's not fraud. The 1,000,001 use cases, so they get a special mention. There's only 2 left. We got computing coins and storage coins. Well, 2 categories left. Got computing coins and storage coins, like Golem, Sire Coin, MadeSafe coins, Storage, Byteball Bytes. There's a few others as well. So what computing coins allow you to do is they allow you to they're trying to offer computational power to people that need it all over the world. So say like for like content rendering, so if you need to render graphics or animations or videos, it takes ages to do, man. It takes ages. This video will take ages to render, man. Data analysis, machine learning, AI, anything that just needs a lot of computational power, that's what these coins are trying to hackle. So like, what do? They behave like a decentralized supercomputer. So unused machines all over the world are sitting idle doing nothing. But if you can connect all of these machines and then get them to work together to like mass all the computational power, like you have like a cheap alternative to some of the cloud services that are offered at the minute, and it could be like rapid if you've got a lot of people involved. So let's give you an example. Say like I'm on my laptop here, it's not got a lot of processing power, I've got a 2-hour animation to like get through. I can like connect with the network, and the network can render this video for me and then just send it me really quick. And that you could get paid for, you could either pay money to get the rendering done quicker, or you could get paid if you've got an unused machine that you're not using. You could get paid by other people. It could get shared between everyone for using the computational power, man. So it's a way to make money for people that have got machines, and it's a way to have services done cheaply for people that don't have powerful machines. So it's pretty cool, man. What next? Storage coins. So what storage coins do is like they use blockchain technology to build decentralized storage platforms for data. So hard drives all over the world, like the machines that have got loads of computational power, like hard drives all over the world are sitting there doing nothing, just like they've got space that they can use. So imagine a file system where you could save your files on all these different computers, so it's like super safe and it's backed up, and then you'll have like, you can have control, you'll have like, this will make it cheaper rather than like cloud storage than it is. So you've got all these unused hard drives, and you can just like put all your data on there, and it's like I mentioned before, like the people that are hosting it get paid, so you can get hosted if you've got space, and then you can pay other people to host it for you for a lot cheaper than the current services. So it's pretty cool, man. What else? Oh, data management as well. So let's talk about data management with this. So companies at the minute profit from your data. Like that's how like Google and stuff run. They sell your data off to people. So coins like these give you more control over your data, and it allows you to, what some of them could allow you to do is that you could even handpick the data that you don't mind sharing, and then you could sell it off to data companies yourself, so you can make money on your own data rather than other people making money off your data. So that's like, potentially it could unlock that in the future. So so that was a bit of a rough explanation, sorry about that, but let's dive into the final section. So these coins, I've just put these as general coins and niche coins. So you've got things like IOTA, which comes under a general coin. You got Augur, got Power Ledger, Storm, and Dense Coin. Those come under like niche coins. And what general coins are is they're like incredibly ambitious projects that aim to change the world in millions of ways. Like, they will revolutionize so many things, that they're trying to do so many things at once, and it's a massive project. So I've kind of put them under general coins because they're trying to like take over everything, sort of thing. They're just trying to rule the world, man. So let's talk about IOTA. It's like one of the top ones, so we'll dive into IOTA. You'll see the term Internet of Things and machine economy thrown around a lot. So let's dive into these. So at the minute in the world, there's an increasing amount of connected devices. So your phone, sensors, electronics, like your coffee machine, like there's a load of connected devices that are entering the world, and there's just more and more every day. And what these are doing is like they can connect with each other, they can speak to each other, they can just share information between each other. And what this is doing is like an insane amount of data and storage, like an insane amount of data is being produced and consumed. So at the minute, the rate at which these devices are growing, bandwidth speeds and broadband speeds aren't growing fast enough to be able to keep up with this demand. Like, we're going to run into problems. So this like paves the way for the sharing economy and like machine economy. So let's dive into that. So at the minute, most of your electronics, say like you've got a coffee maker, they sit idle doing nothing for most of the day. So you make a coffee a few times a day, but other than that, they're not doing anything. So in the age of Internet of Things and all this cool tech, you could actually lease the computer, you could lease the power output and the processing power of that coffee machine out to people that need it. So like the previous example I was on about with like computational coins, you could lease out electronics to people. It's like, I'm not saying that your coffee machine is going to fly out the window and start making coffee, people. Rather, like the chips and the processors inside, you can use them to like work on problems for people. Like, they can be put to use rather than sitting there doing nothing. Like, imagine every device, like all of the devices in the world, like they can like be connected in like some big supercomputing network that all connects with each other, stores stuff on it. It can store stuff on it. It can use its processing power. It can do a million and one things. Like, it'd be so cool, man. What this would make manufacturers do as well, like, because electronics will always have a use, they can always be used, like, it incentivizes manufacturers to build products that last and that are better quality, and it's easier to recycle, so you can keep using them. So it gets rid of that cheap rubbish stuff, and it drags the whole market up, and it drags the world up if a system like this comes into place. So rather than owning as well, I'll dive into that in a minute. So that was just like the entrance of the rabbit hole. It goes deeper than that. So like with machine economy, man, and smart contracts, like machines will be able to communicate with each other, and they can perform tasks automatically. So at the minute, humans, data management and input and task management with humans, it's slow. Like, we take our time to do things, but machines can speak to each other and communicate like instantly. Like, it's so quick compared to us. And like the chain of events that can come from an economy and a system that lets machines automatically perform tasks based on criteria rather than waiting for a human to like confirm it. So you could program into a smart contract, like, perform this task when this criteria is met, and then the machine will automatically perform it. So in seconds, your machine can perform all these tasks rather than us like taking an hour to like say, oh yeah, I'll accept that, that can go through, sort of thing. So I'll use like a car as an example. Your car would be able to like drive itself. So humans at the minute, like, we just crash into people. We're shit. We're dozy. We're just lazy. We're always on our phone. But self-driving cars can be made possible. Like, they've got sensors in there, so they can speak to other cars, and they can avoid each other. They can plan the routes, and they can always avoid each other, providing nothing fails, or there's no like anything weird like that goes on. But it doesn't end there, mate. So you could have sensors on your car that record data of like behavior on the road and like weather conditions, and then you could choose to sell that data to data companies, but this will all be happening on its own in the background. You don't have to like give this permission. You set your preferences at the start, and then the machines just keep on doing this like in the background, so we don't have to like keep monitoring it. Well, we're going to monitor it obviously to make sure it's all running like, but it goes deeper. Like the bandwidth and the broadband used by your car, like you could rent that out to other people when you're not using it. Like you could have a solar panel on your roof that generates electricity, which then charges your car, and any excess you could sell to the power grid or sell to other people. Like think of the processors inside your cars. They could be used for computational power and processing power for people. All the data, like I've said the data, but traffic reports and anything to do with that, you can sell your data, and it just keeps going and going and going, and the machines can like perform. So if one chain happens here, it can like bounce between all the other machines and like, oh, this criteria is now met, now we can do this. Oh, but now this criteria is met, now we can do this. And it just sets this chain of events that's happening in the background instantaneously. Like think of the crazy future things that can happen for it. It's just absolutely insane, man. I dived into self-driving cars as a whole video. I just ramble on about how cool it could be. So if you are interested in self-driving cars, like check my video on that and my article. So you sort of get the idea of how that works. So that's like general, that's not really what all general coins fall under, but like those are the scope of general coins. Like they're just going for a massive, like they're trying to tackle everything. Niche coins, they're like what they say in the tin. They're just trying to focus on really specific things. Like they're trying to provide a specialized service. They're trying to provide like just aim in a really specific industry. So Power Ledger, for example, aims to really dive down into renewable energy and just tackle that. That's all they're focusing on. Dentacoin, they're just targeting the dental industry. They're focusing on like dental care, and affordability. Augur is focusing on prediction markets. So they're just like, they really niche down. So I couldn't really list them in the other categories because they are just focusing on one little thing. Do you know what I mean? So that was an information overload. That was a massive video. I'll summarize and end on some last words. So cryptocurrencies themselves, they fall into multiple categories. Don't get hung up on all the examples I've just listed. Some coins belong in multiple ones. Your favorite coin might belong in some of them. I've not mentioned it. Like, don't get hung up on the examples. I tried to include as many coins as I thought was sensible. If I put like 50 coins in each one, it'd just be a bit of a mess, mate. So I've just tried to be sensible with it. This is a big general guide, not a specific guide. I've put them into categories, and some of the categories they're more related. Some of the coins are more related to the category than others. So it's a general guide, not a specific guide. If I was going to do a specific guide, like every single coin is its own specific thing. Like no one coin is, well, some of them are trying to do the same thing, but they're still going to have differences. So if you are in specifics, like check my channel. There are deep dives into certain breakdowns. Like I've done a nano breakdown, which you can find in the on my channel. But if you go onto my website as well, all the coins I've just mentioned are listed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link every time it says like nano on a big bullet point, you can click that and it'll go to a complete breakdown of nano. So this is like a big general directory / guide for types of coins, and then you can click into different articles if you want to dive into specifics for that coin. So this is a general guide. The specific guide can be found on the website, so go check that out. You can also find them on my channel, so just go and have a browse and have a look. That's about it. I'm going to add to this. I'm going to add to the guide and add to this channel and add to the website as projects develop. So if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll get to them. I hope to have helped you further understand the crazy world of cryptocurrencies. If you think you can explain a point better, make a video response, type a comment, hit me up down below and I'll update the article if what you say is good and people agree with it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for reading if you've been on the channel. Look down below, click my links. They help support me. You get more videos out of me. I hope you like like the new setup. I like this like cool social thing I've set up. It's more professional. I've got my notes in front of me now. I've got a proper mic, got a proper webcam. So we're trying to go for a bit of a more smoother process. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. It actually helps. Love you all. Peace. Mwah.